السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ادر213 Communication Skills. Chapter 2 Written Communication. Lesson 2.3 Other Types of Written Communication. In this lesson, we will cover the following topics: email, report, forms, job description, Noticeport. The learning objectives for this lesson is as follows. By the end of this lesson, the students should be able to 1. Write an email. 2. Differentiate between formal and informal reports. 3. Understand the use of forms in business. 4. Use a job description. 5. Discuss the uses of Noticeport. Let's start with an engaging starter. What you will need to do is read the text and answer the following questions. MBD is a successful insurance business. It has 3 branches with 200 employees across country A. The managing director wants to improve internal communication by introducing new technology into these branches. He says, customers complain about the slow service. Memos never reach me, documents are everywhere, and many part-time employees complain they don't know what is happening and what jobs they should do. Question 1. Define internal communication. Question 2. Explain 2 possible reasons why MBD might want to improve communication. Question 3. Explain ways in which new technology can help improve communication at MBD. Question 4. How can MBD explain the job for part-time employees? What you will need to do is reread the text and try to answer the following questions. Okay, let's move on to the first objective. An email. What is an email? It is an electronic mail. It is one of the most common methods of electronic communication. It allows businesses and individuals to communicate by sending texts or images instantly via the internet. Emails can be used to send letters, memos, reports, photographs, videos, sounds, and other images, even when people are not there to receive them. This means that an individual can send an email to anyone, anywhere in the world. Let's look at the image of an email window. You will find this in your textbook, page 47, figure 2.3.1. We will look at the parts of an email. The first part is from. In the from box, you will find the sender's email address. The second part is to. You will find the primary addresses, which are all the receiver's email addresses. CC, you will find the secondary addresses, and BCC is a blind carbon copy. The list of recipients will not be seen. The next part is subject, where you will write the subject of your letter or the topic of your email. Then we have the open white box, where you will write the body of the email. On top, you will find the attachment, which is the button that looks like a paper clip, where you attach any extra files. And lastly, you will have the send button. You will click this when you are done with your email to send it to all your recipients. Alright, let's evaluate what we've learned. What you will need to do is answer activity 2.3.1, page 47 in your textbook. You will do this individually, and you will have 2 minutes to complete your task. Alright, media students, your time is up. You can check your answers from the information in your textbook. With this, we have completed our first objective. Let's move on to the second one. Reports. A report is a document that is prepared to give the results of an investigation. There are two types of reports, formal and informal. The image in front of you is a picture or an example of a formal report. You will find this in page 49 in your textbook, figure 2.3.3. Let's talk in more detail about informal reports. The informal report may be presented in a memo under an appropriate subject heading and with subheadings, which are considered necessary as well. Parts of informal reports you will have firstly an introduction. This contains background details, a description of the current situation, and the reason for the report. Second, you will have the findings. Here you will find information gathered on the subject. And lastly, you will have the conclusion, which will have the recommendations as to what action ought to be taken. On the screen, you can see an example of an informal report, which is a memorandum. You will find this in page 48 in your textbook, figure 2.3.2. Let's talk more about formal reports. A formal report is written in a professional and formal manner to address complex issues. Formal reports may be used to convey information, analyze an issue or a problem, and provide a recommended course of action. This is usually a solution. Formal reports are usually written in the third person. They do not use the words I, we, and you. Now we will look at the parts of a formal report. You will find this in your textbook in page 50, figure 2.3.4. A formal report will start with the title page. Here you will have the company name, title of report, details of report receiver, report sender, and the date of submission. Then we will have a summary, which is a brief of the report. We will have the table of contents, and then we will have an introduction. The introduction will conclude the purpose, the scope, and the background. Then we will have the body of the report. Here you will talk about major topic headings and minor topics. Then we will have the conclusion and followed by the recommendation. Lastly, we will have the bibliography, which are the references used in the report, and the appendixes. In the appendix, we will have graphs, maps, and brochures. Let's continue with an evaluation activity. You will answer activity 2.3.2, page 50 in your textbook. You will have 5 minutes to complete this activity. Alright, my dear students, your time is up. You can check your answers with the information found in your textbook. And with this, we have completed our second objective. Let's move on to the third, forms. Forms are used to collect specific and standard information. For example, application forms, invoice, order form, loan, license, and timesheet are all examples of different types of forms. As you can see in the image given to you, you will find this on page 51, figure 2.3.5. This is an example of an invoice form. Alright, my dear students, let's evaluate what we've learned. What you will need to do is answer activity 2.3.3, page 53 in your textbook. You will have 5 minutes to complete this task. Alright, my dear students, your time is up. You can check your answers with information in your textbook. Now that we have completed our third objective, let's move on to the fourth, job description. A job description is a written document that provides all the details about what a job involves. A job description needs to include the following: job title, for example, accounting clerk. Then we have the main duties of the job, for example, recording of financial transactions and the handling of financial information. Then we have the department the job is in, such as the finance department or production department. We will also have the responsibilities, what the job holder is responsible for, supervising or managing. Accountability, who the job holder reports to, which means who is his manager. Then we have the working conditions, such as hours and wages or salary. Lastly, we will have the name and location of the business organization. The main purpose of a job description is to show clearly what is expected of an employee. As you can see, you will have an example of a job description. You will find this in page 54 in your textbook, figure 2.3.7. Now, let's move on to an evaluation activity. What you will need to do is answer activity 2.3.4, page 53 in your textbook. You will have 3 minutes to complete this activity. Alright, my dear students, your time is up. You can now check your answers with information found in your textbook. With this, we have now completed our fourth objective, and we will move on to our fifth and last objective of this lesson. Notice board. What is a notice board? A notice is normally used to display factual information, which is open to anyone to read, such as health and safety regulations, training courses, or work celebrations and parties. Notices are normally displayed in prominent places. Notices provide a cheap way of communicating the same information to a large number of people, but they may not be read or may be ignored. As you can see, an example of a notice board. This can be found in page 55 of your textbook, figure 2.3.8. Alright, let's evaluate what we have learned by answering the following question. What is the purpose of using a notice board? You will have 2 minutes to complete it. Alright, my dear students, your time is up. You can now check your answers with information found in your textbook. Well done, my dear students. And with this, we have now completed all 5 objectives of this lesson. Let's move on to some questions. Question 1. Fill the email below from the information given to you. You have the sender, receiver, copy to, subject, and message. In front of you, you have the email window. From the information above, you will fill in this email window. After you're done, you can check your answers by clicking the red button at the bottom of the screen. Question number 2. What you will need to do is read the text and fill in the invoice form. Fill the invoice number BA2333, which is to be sent today to the XYZ Company, P.O. Box 2873, Asa Town, Kingdom of Bahrain, against their order number 2134, which was ordered 2 days before. The company gives 6% trade discount in each invoice. The sales manager's name is Yusuf Abdallah. You have the item numbers, the quantity, description unit, and price. Here in front of you, you have an invoice form. What you will need to do is fill it with the information provided previously. After you are done, you can check your answers by clicking the red button below the screen. Question number 3. The format of a report is usually determined by the audience, information, and purpose. Is the statement true or false? Question number 4. The main purpose of a job description is to show clearly what is expected from an employer. Is the statement true or false? Question number 5. Notices provide a cheap way of communicating the same information to a large number of people, but they may not be read or may be ignored. Choose your answer, true or false. For further practice, you can do additional activities found in your workbook, pages 39 to page 48. Thank you, my dear students. We have now reached the end of this lesson. For further information, or if you have any questions, please refer to your course teacher. Thank you and good luck.